Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Real Estate on Record. I'm Mike Gaddy. We're with Steve Zolinardo. Today we're talking about getting into
the real estate
business
market
as an agent. Okay,
Now,
let's do it.
first things first, we have a seasoned vet, and we have Mike. You have 3 years under your belt now, right?
6,
When did you start
18.
with Steve?
With Steve, it's been 2.5.
Okay.
No, two. Almost
So, what does it take to become a realtor in the 2024 world as it sits right now?
a little bit of thick skin for sure. that's the understatement. But it's obviously it's hard to get started. For me, it was hard to get started. The way I did it was I built up through my network of people. The first 3-4 years is just trying to get it out there that I'm transitioning from my old career to what I am now. Just letting people know that I'm an agent. Called everyone on my database, basically letting them know I'm an agent. Kept in touch to the point where they would start asking me, how's the market? That was the biggest question. Obviously, still is the biggest question. So my first kind of idea was to let everyone know. And then obviously, once everyone kind of knew, is kind of branching out and expanding my sphere, which I guess most people would do. That's how I handled it anyways. But Steve obviously had a different approach. You had your sphere.
No, it's the same thing. I think, you're going to get a list when you get an agent of things you need to do. You just, obviously, you got to do it every day. I think it's just building your mindset that you are a salesperson now. Once you start to believe that you're a salesperson, it starts to happen for you. It's a mindset change, right?
You have to first think that you're a sales.
Well, you're a salesperson. You're going to dress like you're in sales. You're going to be a professional. You're going to talk differently. You're going to communicate differently. You're going to read different things.
Do you recommend people to have a financial background first?
No.
You don't think
that
that's
might
important?
even slow you down? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Sales is not financially based by far. Like sales and real estate. Like we're analytical, clearly. Like my number is Mike's number guy too, but it's these sales aspects totally different because you can look at numbers all day and never do anything with them. You know what I mean? The whole point is
if you don't understand them.
Yeah.
Sometimes the numbers will even scare you away.
Sure.
Always, yeah.
Steve's Mondays with Steve's always scares me. All these numbers that he says, I don't understand the damn
I keep
thing.
it simple, but it gives you like a graph.
So why do you do that? That's a good
because
segue.
it's basically like a temperature. What do you call it? Like a thermostat almost. Like it tell you what's currently happening. Like inventory now, we're at 21,000 units. By next week, we should be at 22. That means we're high inventory. It's going into a danger zone in a sense where there's going to be a lot of inventory in the market and sales are going to be a lot slower. It's not like we're recreating a wheel. It's just it gives you a gauge of where we're currently at. Then when you start seeing that thing dropping down, it's like 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 14.
That's
13,
a good thing or
12.
bad thing?
Well, you're gonna your listings are gonna sell real quick, and your seller's gonna get a lot of money. But also the sellers that are selling for a lot of money are buying for a lot of money at the same time, right? Buying at a higher rate.
So do you do these Mondays with Steve for your own personal gain too?
Yeah, it keeps me sharp too, right? Because obviously I do like a checkup from the neck up on the current market. I read a little bit of what's currently happening. I don't do it like daily like everybody, like some people may or may not do, but I kind of like it. I glaze over it in a week, kind of see what's new and what's not, and that's it.
And then Mike, you have a little gimmick too. I think it's called this for that.
That's been gone for a while. The market shifted.
So what was the reasoning behind this for that?
This for that was more, and we should probably get back into it because the market shifted. We shifted back.
One led into the other thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it mean though?
Like we were just showing basically what you can, if you sold a house in a certain area for, let's say, $1 million, let's say in North York, what $1 million would get you if you had to sell and move to like Woodbridge, for example, right? Just to compare the areas. Some people, to be honest, part of it was just because affordability at that time, and we're still there and getting back into it a little bit right now, just with this high inventory, and obviously rates haven't come down yet. Where for affordability, like if you lived in Woodbridge and you needed a little bit more monthly cash flow and wanted to sell, and you could sell your house in Woodbridge, let's say for 1.5, you can go buy the same house in Bolton or Caledon for like, let's say 1.2, 1.1, right? So you could put this for that. So that was the
like a comparison.
But it's also valuable too, because look, when a market shifts like that, everyone kind of like hides. We came out with something. It's like, okay, so if you over leverage and you can't afford to be in this area, there's an alternative for you. We're giving you alternatives. So you could have sold your house in Woodbridge because they're still selling, and you could have reduced your mortgage, reduced your payments, and gone into a beautiful community. It's not like we're putting you in the slum. We're
And
giving
not,
you
not changing your lifestyle.
correct. Yeah.
Going on the subject, I've been hearing this word a lot because I'm in the real estate world myself, not as a real estate agent, but a part of your world. There's something called farming. No, you're not touching the mic. It's called farming. What the hell does farming mean?
You get a pick and a shovel and you go.
No, different kind of farming. That's my grandma. So when you have to farm an area, means that it's like your home base.
Yeah. It's an
So
area.
should every realtor have that?
Yeah. And I'm not even good at it, but it's for sure.
Why though? What's the benefit of
To
it?
be like the neighborhood expert, right? So you take like a certain section of, for example, like we send out flyers and farm Kleinberg, right?
Is that your home base?
Yeah, because Steve has been in Kleinberg for so long, and then we've been sending out flyers for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, but it's
Yeah.
been on and off. Like again, I'm not really good at it. I think with farming, you got to own it. Like in the sense, the thing is, even with me with farming, it's just maybe now we have more of a structure, but back then it's just like you farm, but you get busy and you just forget about it. You know what I mean? So it's like
So you don't do it on purpose. It's just maybe somewhere else it would occupy your attention.
you're always chasing. It's almost like you want to
Chasing the deal.
chasing the rabbit, you know, you see that fast rabbit, you want to chase it. So that's like a slow process. You're going to do top of mind agent. You're going to do all the flyers, which we still do, but it's just like, then the events. But what I find too is a little disjointed in some of these areas too, because Kleinberg's like split up into these little, like, it's not like
Little boroughs.
my buddy in Hussein up in Pickering, he's got like one section. It's one community. And that's it. He lived there and he kind of worked the shit out of it. But it's like, I don't know, like Kleinberg's got disjointed. It's like 5 or 6, 7, 8 different communities. Like you have
Yeah.
to pick one pocket and just kind of hammer.
What about choosing the right brokerage? There's so many to pick from. So if a
As
new
a realtor to
someone comes out of school and says, you know what, I want to be a realtor, who do I pick?
Depends what you want. I think as a new agent, you're
Are they
looking.
all the same?
No, you're looking for like some sort of guidance because it's like anything. You go to real estate school, whatever our courses are there, and you walk out and they don't teach you how to get business.
and nothing at all.
So as a new agent, you want someone that's gonna help show you how to get business. As a seasoned agent, you want, I think, more brand recognition.
And I'm assuming that you should find a
I would
mentor.
imagine.
But look, when I joined again. There was no guidance, didn't talk to, and I was shy. I came from construction, didn't have the confidence to call people in sales. I thought they were like at a different level than me, communication wise. So I kind of like skirted around the whole situation. So I kind of picked Royal LePage when I went in because the fees were more attractive for like junior agents than let's say a Remax. And I always thought Remax would have been like top brand and you can't get in there, it's going to be too expensive. So you obviously want to go in there lightly then build up. But I don't know if that was the right situation too, because I don't know, but KW where you were, there's going to be a lot of training. I think that's got the most training in any brokerages around.
That's why I went there for sure.
100%. I think Remax is decent. It's got a lot of stuff going on it too, but it's just the broker of record of every company is going to be different. It's not like
1,000%,
you're
yeah.
under the Colorado hub of Remax. It's like all these offices and who's managing them. And I remember the Royal LePage one we did. Again, I was young. I'll do anything. So and young in the business. So we did 100 Days of Greatness by Brian Buffini.
What does that mean?
It was 101 Days of Confusion by Brian Buffini.
How
I was
so?
reading these scripts. I'm like, I gotta sound like a fucking
Is
idiot.
it like sell me this pen kind of scripts?
Even worse?
Really?
Yeah, it was the mayor campaign. It's like, and they did like this terrible script of him like, this is how you should be getting referrals. You're going to your favorite sushi bar. This is California, right? People from California. And you talk to the guy, and there's a Japanese name, and you're like, hey, I'll get the spicy tuna. And then it's just like this whole thing. So who do you know? And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do that? Who am I going to do that to?
Yeah.
I don't do sushi. Is it pasta bar? I don't know if there's a pasta bar. Like I couldn't.
You're trying to wrap your head
I couldn't do
around
it.
what type of
I was trying. And I wasn't being objective to it. I'm like, how do I like incorporate this in my life? It's not realistic. This is basically sales training for just to make money, not train.
Yeah.
So you need a mentor. Would that be a fair?
You need a
fair
coach.
Thing?
You need a coach.
A coach. A
Yeah.
coach is a better
You
word.
need
Yeah.
a coach. That's it. So if you're gonna get a mentor, fair enough. But you need a coach. You need
A coach is better, right?
You need a coaching program. Someone you're gonna talk to once a week, non-biased, gonna give you shit, gonna give you tasks. You need tasks every week, every 2 weeks. Look, Ryan today, Sean Ryan, tasks. Like you should be doing this. I'm having issues hiring and stuff like that up in Florida. So it's like, okay, this is what you should be doing. You know, what was it, character tests and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's impossible, man.
What?
I personally don't think that there's ever a test on finding the good person.
No, it's not.
Because you and I have both been through a lot
But
of
I'm
people.
gonna try it. I'm not gonna be objective. It's almost like the.
Oh, you haven't even used it yet.
No, I have not used
Oh.
it.
Like the disc test is pretty good.
This is too complicated.
The
That
what?
this test.
What is that?
By the time you read, you need like a.
It's not gonna tell you
What is it,
this
Mike?
person's
Jesus.
perfect, but
You're-
it tells you, it gives you a game. Like for myself, I thought it was
Mike, what
pretty
is
bang
that?
on.
Tell everyone what that
The
means.
disc, it's like what is, I don't even know what it stands for, but basically it tells you,
Yeah.
it asks you a bunch of questions, how you answer those questions, gives you a personality breakdown of what like how you enjoy, like what's easy for you, what type of work you like doing. Do you like talking to people? You don't like talking to people? Would you rather sit in a room and just work by yourself, or would you rather
Kind of like who you would mesh with.
Correct. So like it would, like we did it when I first started
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
and I've done it in the past too,
Yeah.
just to understand, like, are you a good
Yeah, are
good
you a
for this
good
business?
candidate for this?
Yeah, you like, is this business for you, or just have a nice day
And that
keep
leads
moving
me
on?
to the last question of this episode. I heard, and everyone else thinks,
my
that you
gosh.
could drive the Mercedes. It's a lavish life. You make your own hours. It's easy money. Is this the way that real estate works?
No. What was
Why
it?
do people think that way?
I don't know. It depends. I guess the shows make it look like
So
that.
do
right?
you have to work those long hours?
Yeah, of course.
I see Mike working those long hours all the
Yeah,
time.
the other night,
Midnight oil.
the other night, what was it? Wednesday. I was showing a property at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Right. We put an offer last night that was up until 10:30, 11 o'clock, doing three offers.
Same house?
Same house and two other houses, right? But it's just Mother's Day, getting calls or dealing with offers, right? So it never stops. Even we were talking about it today or yesterday. We go on vacation. We can't really disconnect, right? Steve
course.
uses it like the best example. Just we gotta turn down
Turn
the
the
oven
volume
a
down a
little
little.
bit down.
Yeah.
It's like a stove. You just turn the heat down.
Yeah.
It's still on lukewarm.
Yeah, but
never
It's
turn
still
it
on,
Yeah.
but you don't have to watch it as much.
Exactly, right? So, and obviously you have to put people in place when you go away. It's
course.
amazing. It's like when I landed in Florida earlier in the year, it's like I literally landed and it was like everyone that I haven't talked to in the last 10 years wanted to buy a house because they knew I landed in Florida. But
But that's a good sign.
no, it's fantastic. But it's just how it is with us, right?
Now, tell me something. The last thing. Do people actually follow through with that want to live in Florida? Because I know Steve and I were talking about that a lot. A lot of people say they do, but they don't actually do it. So do you think a lot of these people are saying it because they want their mindset to be Florida? Or do they physically want to go?
I think we have a lot of turmoil here right now. A little, well, I don't know, a little bit, a lot, depends how you look at it. But I think people are attached to like family and stuff like that, right? So it's a balancing act. What do you want? It's your priorities. Do you want to be beside your family, or do you want better for your kids, or do you want more opportunity? What is it? Like Steve made a great analogy of it. Like our ancestors, our parents left Italy. It was one of the nicest countries. Great culture, great food, and they came here. Well, it's not as beautiful as Italy. The food isn't as
close as beauty. Yeah.
yeah,
Just
right. There's
economically,
there's no comparison. What do they come here for? For opportunity, right? It depends. If people now you're attached to your family and those roots, you're gonna stay here. But if you're looking for a little bit more and you're looking for opportunity, you're looking for a better future for you, your family, your kids. Well, I don't know how much opportunity is gonna be here in 15, 20 years. I think it's gonna be very expensive to live here, and the quality of life. There's not gonna be that much value here, as much value as there used to be. Let's say, for just your quality of life overall, right? We're talking about Florida. If you want that, I'm not trying to promote it, but if you want that, there's that opportunity is definitely moving there right now, especially.
Well said. That was good. So Steve's ambition obviously was to go to Florida. I mean, that's what you wanted to do, and you did it.
Yeah, I went there for my kids, right? So
And for you, I think, a little.
no, the kids. 'Cause
Really?
my life's very comfortable here, very comfortable. But prior to me going, I've complicated it like massively. So yeah,
he
it's
he
for the
had
future.
a good business that was cruising, right? Like he was go-karting and still doing
I'd be at the track 3 days a
50,
week.
60 deals a year.
Yeah, and I was still doing what I had to do. So we
you did
complicated
do it
things.
for the kids.
But it's just for the kids, the family, right? The future. It's just again going back on our parents moved here from such one of the most beautiful countries in the world, rich in history, rich in culture, rich in. Have you ever seen Italians eat dinner like girlfriend and boyfriend? You ever see them eat dinner? I'm serious, honestly.
That's Italy.
Have you ever seen them eat?
Here, no.
Did you ever watch them eat? They're like. We were
In
there
Italy.
in 2018. Yeah, I was there watching the Formula One race. So we're in Monza, and literally, like the eye contact, it was amazing. It was like, look at this, these are alive. They're like, she's drinking white wine. It's just like
And
everything.
What do we see here? Phones. Everyone's
It's just
looking at their
different. It's because there
phones.
it's culture. It's like everything's paired. This is the food I'm gonna have with this wine. Everything is like it's a system. It's just beautiful. Anyway, so just going back to that. So you leave all that to come here for economically. But again, I think people get confused because I get like 3 to 4 calls a week minimum a week. And now we're starting a new group on Facebook, Canadians to Florida kind of go, right? So we're going to kind of give advice and help people out. But it's like, they're so tied to this and they think that they're rooted here. It's not. I think everyone's just scared. I think everybody thinks they're more important than what they really are, and its ego gets in the way of that. They think that their like existence here in Canada is like gonna be here forever. It doesn't matter if you're like the billionaire here. You're finite. You're here today. You're gone tomorrow.
And that's
you
a
know?
good analogy for new realtors too.
What's that?
You cannot have that ego, that chip on your shoulder. You have to let that go and hustle, put your head down and work. Because how many agents are there now? 70,000 or
I
something.
don't even know.
We lost a big chunk of them.
I don't even know.
But it'll get replenished, obviously. But there's a lot, regardless.
Depends how trust the rules go.
Well.
With the buyers reps?
With the buyers reps, if they continue.
Yeah, I
So
don't know.
ultimately, Steve was a realtor, very successful realtor, went to Florida.
I'm not.
You were
I did
successful.
okay. I did
Steve.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, you're a very hungry and up and coming, what's said to be one of the pioneer realtors of our time.
Oh, I don't know about
That's
A
what they say.
legend.
A
I don't
legend.
know about that.
And they say for me, I gotta know where to find you.
Oh, God
That's
damn.
what. So Mike, do me a favor now.
He got us.
God damn
He
it,
pumped
fucking-
those
he's a
tires.
sniper.
He
He's a
pumped those
sniper,
tires,
yeah.
and then
He
You
just
know,
shoots you
the
in
whole episode, at like the 2-minute mark, I was thinking, how can I get him?
God damn.
Mike, at your camera right there, where can
Oh.
they find you, you legend?
you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. You can find me directly at Mike Getty Realtor.
Steve, where can they find you? At Steve Zelenardo on Instagram. Spotify, YouTube, all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
all
Guys, we'll
good.
see you next time.
Nice.
Ciao.
Yes.